Good afternoon. We'll get the Calexico Unified School District Board meeting started. Opening items, call to order.
Trustees present tonight are Trustee Arellano, Trustee Castillo, Trustee Avina, and Trustee Contreras, with Trustee Calderon absent. You have a quorum.
Thank you. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. If Mr. Jimenez, can you please lead us?
Please rise. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item B, presentation. Number 1, me and mine implementation update.
Thank you, President Contreras. At this point, I'd like to introduce Ms. Julie Johnston and Ms. Eleanor Wong. Ms. Johnston and Ms. Wong come from the Me and Mine program. This is a program that we started piloting this year in our elementary schools, and it's a program based on the Stanford School of Medicine research. And so they're going to provide us some information about this program. Thank you. Ms. Johnson, Ms. Wong. If there's a button at the base.
There you go.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay, thank you. Good evening, Superintendent Jimenez and esteemed board members and Calexico community. We're honored to be here tonight to share some additional data on some of the work we've been doing with the elementary schools here in Calexico. I'm going to introduce our innovative CEO, Ms. Eleanor Wong, who is also here to present an intro to the program, and then we'll dive in really quickly into some of the data from the district usage.
And if I could ask you to speak close to the mic so we could hear you.
Of course, yeah.
Thank you.
Good morning, Calexico. Good morning, everybody. Good evening, everybody. So my name is Eleanor. I am the co-founder and CEO of Me and Mine. So I want to share a bit more about our missions and also the joint partnership with Calexico. So in my first year at MIT, I lost a classmate to suicide. So it took her 11 years from the first symptom to treatment. So that 11 years become the heartbeats of Me and Mine. So we are trying to, so I have a decade's experience in neuroscience. So we work with Stanford Medicine, trying to scale a mental health support and behavioral health for young children. And we want to see how we can support, and no longer with the 11 years, but we can basically support in real time. So the solution we come up with is a bit like Inside Out meet Pokemons. So this is a gamified mental health platform where we help our young children self-regulate and build their regulation skills while we can detect early risk and then really providing the personalized regulation skills and also activity in the games. So very fun, very engaging, very educational, and really personalized in terms of building that self-regulation skills. So as you can see here, every day only take about 10 minutes, supporting the teachers with the smooth classroom management, and also supporting the PBIS, MTSS initiative. How that works is every day, the students will get onto the activities, and then 10 minutes, So every day they were checking with their emotion, energy, and social interactions. And based on the neuroscience framework, we identify their personalized regulation spectrum for that day, and then we will push them with personalized and individualized self-regulation activities where they can help the student center themselves and get ready to learn. And everything in only 10 minutes. So it's very personalized, very scalable, and really helping the counselors and educators in the classroom management and helping kids to get ready and great foundation, get ready to learn. And I think what is really powerful is that when the kids play those games, so those reported data as well as the in-game behaviors are then used with our technology to form a pattern to see all these repetitive patterns, and we will send the notification for the tier 2 counselors and tier 3 supporter to care for the kids in real time. So no longer like twice a year with the assessment, but real time with all the data set that we collect and support real time. And I think the best part is that because it's really personalized based on their daily check-in and also in-game behavior, so we can provide a very personalized activities which can really help the kids to build self-regulation skills. And I believe kids is not born with all these self-regulation skills. They have to build it. Very similar to readings and math. So I think we are providing a very cool solution and program really to helping kids and engaging them to build that skill set and get them future ready. So we'll talk a little bit more about our partnership with Stanford, and we are thrilled to work with Classical to invite all the innovative partners to be part of this very meaningful research. And we want to share with you some of the early findings that we have with Classical students and teachers.
So first I want to share that we are aligned to community schools. I had the honor and the privilege of participating in the parent fair last Saturday, which was really an honor. My favorite part was I actually was able to meet some of your parents, and some of the kids and some of the parents actually recognized our Hatch buddies here, so we know that they've been really enjoying the program in the classroom, so that was really an honor. But our goal is to really tie the family and community together, and so we do fully support family and community engagement by parent workshops, family workshops, things like that. So that's a really big part of what we do in terms of integrating the different supports within the district. We also work in, again, strengthening MTSS and PBIS outcomes. So we know that you are a PBIS district, and congratulations on the recent recognition. So we do support PBIS by offering ways to give positive behavior within the actual game to students, so that educators and counselors can also reward students for things like positive regulation and social skills. But let's talk about the data in Calexico. This is what we're really excited about. So we launched in early September. So this is early data. This is only for 30 days, so it's very exciting to see the engagement. We've got about 1,450 students currently actively using the program. The frequency is almost 5 days a week, so 4.9 days a week. You can see the learning activity, the time in minutes, which is almost 100,000 minutes of me and mine activity, which we're also very excited to see, with about a 72% weekly engagement. So you can see the breakdown of grade levels between 1 through 4 there. Our highest usage is around 2nd and 3rd. Again, this is early data, and so we've actually got some updated data. It looks like 4th grade might be catching up. So this has really been also great to see. But here's another amazing data point. We do align to zones of regulation. So our whole goal is to teach kids self-regulation strategies and get them optimally ready to learn. So calm, focused in the green zone is ideal for academic learning and academic readiness. So you can see this graph here, which is pretty phenomenal and pretty impressive with only 30 days of use. When students originally log in to Me and Mine and do a check-in, we have about 28% of kids in the green zone. So we see kids roughly about, a quarter of the kids are roughly in each of the other zones. And then after 10 to 15 minutes of utilizing Me and Mine, that number grows to 60%. So what that means is that by using the prescribed activity, the personalized activity that Eleanor mentioned, that students are engaged, they're focused, they're calm, and they're ready to learn. So this will help directly impact students' success and ability to focus in the classroom. In here, I'll just show a quick snapshot of the different schools in terms of growth. So we have something that's called a well-being index. It's basically a number of indicators that we factor in based on students' in-game behavior and also how they're checking into the program. But we can see some pretty big gains here just in 30 days. So we are seeing some really impressive gains with well-being index and also the green zone with readiness to learn. So you can see the different schools, the time on task, and the different growth patterns here too, which we're really excited to share. We also had a couple of teachers that were going to come and actually share a few testimonials and words tonight, and unfortunately both of them were out ill. So, but we hopefully will be back at another meeting and be able to recognize those top users and also share more updated data with you. But I'd love to open it up for questions if anybody has any questions.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, again, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Again, understanding it's relatively new for the district implementation. I'm just curious, and maybe like to hear on the once we get to level or tier 2 and 3, those interventions, the regulations. How is that from the program application? How is that being tied to the school to support students in those tiers?
Yeah, do you want to take that one? Yeah, so in terms of early intervention, so what we do is this is a gen ed program, so we're able to identify students at risk early and basically get those students additional support. So our whole focus is early intervention for students that maybe are silently struggling that haven't been identified with those tier 2 or tier 3. So if we have a student that's in a tier 3, we might do a small group instruction. They might be one-on-one with counselors set in a session, things like that, to actually support the student further and more targeted. We also have a program that's specialized for behavior supports that is specifically for students that are tier 3, I've been identified by tier 3.
So at that point, the staff or counselors would be notified the site and then be able to follow up with the student.
Absolutely. So
supports,
the
okay.
teacher gets notified,
Okay.
the counselor gets notified, and also the principal gets notified. So we have different systems of support so that we can actually track and see how kids are doing. And actually when students first check in for teachers in the classroom, I can actually see where my kiddos are checking in, what zone. So if I've got half of my kiddos checking in the red zone and I teach 4th grade, maybe I don't want to start with math, right? So it's also a way to really drive, classroom instruction and really use that data to help plan out the day for the teacher. So it helps their day become a little bit easier too. Yeah.
Thank you. And finally, I'll just close.
Yeah.
I'd just be interested in more data
Yeah.
as it's implemented throughout the school year. So
Absolutely.
some of the data follow-up.
Yeah. This is high level. We actually have
Yeah.
more, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to also add on to for the games. So it's not just the typical activities. Those are the game designed by our psychologists. So it's a gamified therapy. So based on the kids' scenarios or their social context, we will push them with the game. They are really helping them to calm and stay focused and get ready to learn. And not just that, foster their empathy. If they feel lonely, we encourage the belonging through the gamified activities. There's also components about many stories and many videos. They encourage kids to understand a bit more about social awareness, the self-awareness and management. Yeah, and then we are also having another behavior intervention tools. They can really target for the tier 2 and tier 3 intervention. So they basically streamline the BIPS process. So we can utilizing the data collection as well as tracking for the to meeting the BIPS goal.
If I could just add, as you notice here, you might have seen the elementary schools up there, and this is an elementary school program. At the secondary schools, actually starting in 5th grade and up, that's the Impactor Pathway program that we're using. As I've shared in the past, the Impactor Pathway program is based on Harvard University's also clinical research on self-regulation and behavior and whatnot. And this one's, on our West Coast, Harvard's counterpart, Stanford School of Medicine. So we're really looking at research-based programs to help support our Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 MTSS program here in Calexico.
So I noticed that, you have your evidence-based outcomes in there, so which means you have some type of evidence-based practices that you're basing your systems in, right? So how frequent do you evaluate your systems?
In terms of
In terms of putting new, like once you analyze the data, right? Like if there's like on the emotional component where there is changes, I noticed that you mentioned that it was individualized for each kid, right? Because they may have different issues on different days, right? But as you're bringing in new programs or new stories or new items, how frequent do you?
Yeah. content-wise, we update it every month so that we grow with the kids and then we personalize it. And in terms of the data interpretations, it's 3 seconds. So that's our goal, is daily usage, and the teacher, counselors, and district leaders, they can access to the data in real time. So the goal of the solution is really to provide a tiny support instead of like having like twice a year assessment, because the longitudinal data set can give us a lot of like patterns and trends in terms of how we provide a more personalized support for the kids.
So it becomes like an ongoing assessment in a sense, right?
Yes.
Where you get the quick results and
Yes.
then you're able to modify for it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And one thing I want to add too is we're also, in addition to those daily check-ins, so that everything's updated, like Eleanor said, in real time, but we're also looking at like in-game behavior and where the students are actually going into the system. And we have a technology model that basically comes up with a well-being score based on a lot of different factors. So we're constantly analyzing data in real time. So these reports can literally be pulled at any time. And so yes, it's definitely updated all the time in terms of like what is actually, representative of that student's well-being, because we know that emotions ebb and flow, like you were saying, right? So it's going to be different and change daily. So we're not expecting kids to be the same. We're expecting red zone, green zone, blue zone, right? But then we look at the patterns over time, and that's how we're able to identify those students that might need additional support as well through our data collection.
Yeah. And I think the in-game behaviors are very powerful because we're not just tracking about their daily check-in. We are also tracking if they are over-clicking, what's their tolerance rate due to different, like levels of the game design. We are also tracking about the response time to each data points that we collect. And we have the algorithm to kind of aggregate everything all together and provide the personalized support and activity for the kids.
Thank you. I don't know if anybody else had any? Mr. Avina?
No questions, just no, great presentation. Sounds like a great program. I just would have loved to have heard from those two teachers.
Right.
Because everything's great. Up here sounds fantastic. Data looks good. But what matters a lot too is what do the teachers have to say about it, Because they're the ones implementing it.
I have a statement. The one that was unable to join, she actually sent a statement, so I'm happy to share a little
She's
bit
in it
about.
for you to read it?
She asked me to read it, yeah.
Ah,
So you
yeah.
do want to hear? So
I
I'm
w- I
happy
would-
to,
yeah.
okay, let
Yes,
me grab,
please.
I need my glasses though, hold
Okay.
on. I'll be quick.
I agree with you, Mr. Avina. I think it'd be important for us to hear from the teachers to see how they're, one is how they're getting the data, how quickly they're reacting to the data that they're getting. But I think it's important to hear what the teachers think as well.
Yes, so this is from Dr. Everosa Rodriguez. And she basically, I don't know if you all are familiar with Everosa or Dr. Rodriguez, but she's been in the district for over 30 years. She recently received her doctorate of education with a focus on SEL. And she said she's very much a fan. She said the district has some opportunities for growth in SEL. Specifically, she says, let's see, the emotion lab is where students can learn about emotions, how they feel physically, potential triggers, for managing and regulating. I vouch for its use and outcomes as Rockwood's data speaks for itself. Having me in mind at CUSD, it's definitely a step in the right direction when it comes to self-regulation and management. Best of all, the students love it, and I invite you to visit Rockwood's primary classrooms. So, that's from Dr. Rodriguez, and like I said, we had hoped a couple of people would be here tonight, but unfortunately they were out ill, but hopefully we'll be back again to show more data, and we can have some testimonials from teachers, parents, and students as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We thank you for your presentation.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll move on to item C, comments from the public. The board will take any and all comments from the public related to an item on the agenda or any other item of district businesses that is not on the agenda. And we have Ramos, Adrian.
Good afternoon, board members. My name is Adrian Ramos. I started working for the school district December of 2023. I was given the opportunity to become a full-time employee the following May. Passed my probation in November and became a member of the school district. Shortly after, became a union member, CSEA 399. The reason I'm here is because I made a choice to work for the school district. I made a choice to be a union member, but I did not choose to have my benefits taken away. I have a family. I'm a family unit of 5 people. Seeing the numbers that members have given us, the proposed health benefit that we have to pay as a employee of the school district cuts down to about 18% of what my normal wage is at the moment. Again, I chose to work here. I did not choose to have my wages taken away, to have something that was originally offered as a new employee. Each and every single one of you members here on the board have a choice to do what's right for your employees, to do what's right for the school district and have us do our work correctly. We can't service our areas with us constantly thinking what is going to happen in the future. A choice has to be made. I chose to be here. The gentleman chose to be here and listen to us. Choose to do the right thing. Choose to represent the employees. Choose to keep us in a fair state of work and a fair state of mind where we don't have to worry what's going to happen in the near future. It's difficult to think that because of this, we have to choose between paying our bills, paying our health care. It's difficult, and especially for me at this moment that I'm barely starting my presence here with the school district and CSEA. So gentlemen, please choose. You need to choose what's proper for our brothers and sisters of the 399, for the school district, and for the campuses that we service. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Renee Pollard. Renee Pollard.
Good evening, board members, staff, and community members. My name is Renee Pollard, and I'm a labor relations representative with California School Employees Association. I'm here to express the deep concern our members have regarding the current contract negotiations with Calexico Unified School District. 2 items are still being negotiated: salaries and benefits. These 2 items are the most crucial for the district's classified staff. The classified staff hold the district together and are currently being overworked and stretched to the limit, all while feeling unappreciated. Our members understand the unprecedented uncertainty in the world right now. The U.S. Department of Education is under attack. Our members also understand that there have been delays in construction at the high school and a significant increase in construction costs. The district's lack of inflation accounting should not be to the detriment of the classified employees. The district pays over $70,000 per month in salaries to only 4 management employees. This makes it even more challenging to accept a mere 1.15% salary increase for the district's lowest paid members. Calexico Unified is the county's largest district. The salaries are lower than those in comparable districts. The thing that sets Calexico apart from the rest has always been their understanding of the importance of healthcare coverage for members and their willingness to continue that coverage. Studies show that properly covered employees call out sick less often, saving the district money over the long term. The district has always made a way to pay 100% of the health care for its full-time classified employees, even when it was in the red. The district proposes capping its contributions to healthcare premiums, requiring members to pay over $600 per month for coverage, resulting in a 20% decrease in take-home pay for some members. With the current coverage, these employees will soon have to choose between taking their child to the emergency room or putting food on their table. The cost of living continues to increase. Our members cannot afford another increase. CSEA Chapter 399 urges the district to reconsider its stance on implementing healthcare coverage caps and continue providing this essential benefit to its employees.
Thank you, Ms. Poli. Rosa Bermúdez.
Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes, compañeros. Mi nombre es Rosa Bermúdez, soy parte del IBOR. Aparte, soy del Departamento de Food Service. Tengo 6 años trabajando en este distrito. Y el motivo por el cual estoy aquí es porque la frustración que a todos, no creo que soy la única, a todos en general de los clasificados es el 1.15% que nos quieren dar de aumento. Es de más, son pennies realmente y eso no nos alcanza para nada. Como dicen, todo está subiendo, la luz, el agua y los sueldos, la verdad, no alcanzan para nada. Y como ellos dicen, o es llevar comida a la casa o pagar los biles o ahora pagar el seguro médico, que no se nos hace justo tampoco. Si tanto dicen que el aumento los va a dejar en números rojos, ¿cómo es posible que si se supone que estamos tan mal, ahora estén presupuestando 2.9 millones para viajes y conferencias, puesto que se supone que no iba a haber? Entonces, ¿ese dinero para qué se está destinando si se supone que estamos tan mal? Nos dicen una cosa y en el papel nos están demostrando otra. ¿A quién vamos a creerle? Si el año pasado se ahorraron $6 millones en sueldos de posiciones que están vacantes y que parece ser que no se van a llenar, ¿qué va a pasar con ese dinero? Porque ese dinero no lo utilizan para darnos un buen aumento de sueldo. No se nos hace justo, nos pasamos todos los días, venimos a trabajar todos los días, llueve, truene. Cuando pasaron las tormentas, ¿quiénes estaban aquí limpiando las escuelas? Nosotros. Se fue la luz como pudimos, les dimos de comer a los niños y nunca se les desatendió. Y que nos quieran dar 1.15 de aumento de sueldo es una cachetada para mí, la verdad. Muchas gracias y que descansen.
Aleso Cortés. Cortés. Alejo.
Good evening, board members, administration, staff, and community. My name is Alejo Cortez, and I'm a custodian at the 9th grade campus. I have proudly served this district for 28 years after graduating from Calexico High School. Go Bulldogs. I'm here to address this district's decision to require classified employees to start paying for health insurance premiums. This is unacceptable. We are the lowest paid employees in the district, yet we are being asked to carry a new financial burden of upwards of $600 per month. How is that possible? At the same time, the superintendent and assistant superintendent have received 7% salary increases in the past 3 years. If there's funding for administrative raises, there should be funding to protect classified employees' health benefits. For decades, we have sacrificed raises, accepted furloughs, supported this district throughout every challenge. Now those efforts are being ignored. This new direction under Mr. Romel Guerrero is harmful to classified employees. Therefore, I am declaring a vote of no confidence in his leadership on this matter. Board members, you have the power and the responsibility to stop this. If you continue to support this change, this impact falls on you as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Elizabeth Esqueda.
Good afternoon. You know me already. I'm Calexico, Chapter 399 President Elizabeth Esqueda. And yes, you've heard it before. Without classified employees, schools would not run the way they do. Without bus drivers, students wouldn't get to school. Without instructional assistants, there would be no one to supervise and comfort students. Without custodian, classrooms wouldn't be clean and safe. Without mechanics, children would not be safe on the bus. Without grounds, your schools would not look pristine. Without food service staff, children wouldn't be fed. Without office staff, there would be no record keeping. You wouldn't be able to submit mandated reports. Without accountants, vendors, and employees wouldn't get paid. I could go on because there are so many other essential classified positions I haven't mentioned. But the point is, you know how vital classified employees are. And yet, with positions being frozen and workloads increasing because of frozen positions, you continue to offer an offensive 1.15% salary increase, while also asking us to pay for our own health and welfare benefits. At the negotiation table, we're told that the cost of everything has gone up. I'd like you to really listen to what you're saying. The cost of everything has gone up, not just for the district, but for everyone, including classified employees. And yet you want us to survive on a nearly 1.15 salary increase. We're also told that we are all the district, but this situation tells us otherwise. Until we receive a fair salary proposal, we classified employees cannot truly feel that we are part of this district or that we are valued. I urge you to put yourself in our place. Would you survive with the 1.15% salary increase? And I don't mean with the current salary, because you cannot compare how much you make to what we make. Put yourselves in our shoes and stand there with the salary and we make, and look around at the increase of living costs and be honest. Would you be able to pay your own health and welfare benefits and survive this increasing economy? Let me help you. If you are being really honest, the answer is no.
Thank you. Alejandra Zamora.
Good evening, board members and fellow union brothers and sisters. My name is Alejandra Zamora. I am a school support technician at Calexico High School and also on the e-board of Chapter 399. And also I'm a proud classified employee of this district. I'm here tonight to express my deep concern and disappointment over the district's proposal of only a 1.15 salary increase, especially during a time when the cost of living continues to rise for all of us. Every day we face higher prices for food, gas, rent, and basic necessities. And now we're also being asked to pay for our own health benefits. We are this district's backbone. We greet the parents and students, drive the buses, feed the students, clean the classrooms, support instruction, keep every department running, and make sure students attend school every day. Without classified staff, our schools simply could not and would not operate. A 1.115 raise does not reflect the value of our work, our dedication, or the respect we deserve. We are asking this board to recognize our contributions and offer a just, fair, and meaningful salary increase that helps us keep up with the cost of living and maintain our families' well-being. We are not asking for anything less of what you want for your own self and families. Thank you.
Thank you. Esperanza Amaí.
Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes, Mr. Jiménez. Buenas tardes, Janet, mesa directiva. Mi nombre es Esperanza Amial, empleada clasificada durante más de 2 décadas para este distrito. Sin embargo, esta noche no hablo solo en mi nombre, sino en el nombre de todos los empleados clasificados del Distrito Escolar Unificado de Calexico. Las personas que día tras día se aseguran de que nuestras escuelas estén listas para recibir a nuestros estudiantes y sus familias, limpias, seguras y funcionando plenamente para todos los miembros de nuestra comunidad. Somos los conductores que llevan a los niños a la escuela con seguridad y de regreso a sus hogares. Somos los conserjes que mantienen los salones, oficinas, campos, etcétera, limpios día a día. Somos los asistentes que apoyan el aprendizaje de los estudiantes, que apoyamos con compromiso, empatía y dedicación. Somos el personal de cafetería, quienes nutrimos a nuestros estudiantes y al personal del distrito con dedicación y compromiso. Nuestro trabajo va más allá de preparar alimentos, contribuimos al bienestar, la salud y el desarrollo de cada alumno. Somos los guardias de seguridad,
que cuidamos la seguridad de todos en la escuela en todo momento. Somos los técnicos de tecnología, el pilar que sostiene la infraestructura digital del distrito. Nuestro trabajo garantiza el funcionamiento eficiente de los sistemas tecnológicos que permiten la enseñanza, la comunicación y la administración diaria. Somos las secretarias y recepcionistas, ese primer punto de contacto entre el distrito y la comunidad. Representamos la imagen institucional a través de un servicio caracterizado por el respeto, la integridad y la excelencia. Sin cada uno de nosotros, las escuelas no podrían funcionar. Somos la columna vertebral de este distrito. Pero hoy estamos aquí porque se nos ha dado la espalda, las altas esferas administrativas han propuesto y tomado la decisión de que los empleados clasificados empecemos a pagar por nuestros beneficios médicos una suma de dinero que está fuera de nuestros presupuestos. Beneficios que, cabe aclarar, siempre han sido parte esencial de nuestra compensación. Me fui de tiempo. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Patricia Birstall.
Hello, good afternoon, board members, Mr. Jimenez, and all my colleagues. I'm a retiree of Calexico School District for 44 years, and I'm gladly say that. I'm standing here right now because I'm here to support my colleagues and also to talk about the retiree unit and my colleagues. We received some information during the summer. We were retired about our health benefits. I am asking the board to give a direction to please to the human resource or to the office that conducts all the information for health benefits for retirees, because we don't have any more communication. We don't have emails for the schools. We don't know what's going on. And to request that there'll be more communication about health benefits and important information when they call us like a week or they send us an email that we need to bring in a payment for our health benefits, because we have to pay. No letter, no explanation. We got the letter like a week after. I was on a retirement vacation. I couldn't get a hold of anybody here, and I had to pull some strings of my good friends to come and take care of it, and Mr. Guerrero can vouch for that. I was having a very difficult time. I was almost going to be out of health benefits because I couldn't be here physically to bring in a check. How can you ask for a payment when you're in negotiations? In our contract, it says that when you retire until the age of 65, we'll get our benefits. Well, I'm not 65 yet, so I still have health benefits. So I please ask the board to please give a directive to your HR to please give us ample time to be able to get that information and come and pay and take care of our health benefits. Because whatever CSCA, we're part of that retiree unit. Whatever they negotiate, we're all in the same group. Thank you very much for your time, and gladly I say that I am a retiree of Calexico School District.
Thank you. Crystal Cázares.
Good evening, members of the board. We're here once again asking you to see us, to really see us. The classified staff who open the schools, feed the kids, clean the classrooms, keep the offices running. We're the heartbeat of the district, but we're struggling, and we're tired of being overlooked. When people are making over $200,000 a year, paying $603 a month for insurance maybe doesn't seem like much. But for us, that's everything. That's rent, gas, that's food for our kids. That's the difference between stability and falling behind. We shouldn't have to choose between taking care of the students and taking care of our families. We're not asking for luxury. We're asking for fairness, dignity, for the peace of mind that comes from knowing that we can see a doctor without worrying about how we're gonna pay for it. So please do what's right and cover our health care 100%. Show us that the people who make the district work are worth caring for too. Thank you.
Thank you. Cortez. It says Cortez. I can't read the.
I submitted mine, so they think they double.
Oh, okay.
Want to hear it again? I'll say it again.
Thank you. Okay, thank you guys very much for your comments. We'll move on to item D of the agenda. It's consent agenda. All items appearing will be acted on by one motion without discussion unless any item is pulled for separate consideration and action.
I'll make a motion to approve consent agenda. Is this?
I'll second that motion. Any questions? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, motion passes 4-0. Moving to item E, informational items, superintendent's report.
Thank you, President Contreras. Last week, the California Department of Education released the California Assessment of Student Performance and Progress, otherwise known as the CASP. Since then, we have been analyzing the data and looking for our strengths and our areas of growth. While we still have much more work ahead of us to improve on our student achievement levels, today I want to highlight some positive information from our latest CASP scores. I'm proud to share that every one of our grade levels made an increase towards meeting or exceeding the grade level standards in English language arts. Our fourth graders increased from 18.16% to 21.82%. Our fifth graders increased from 18.13% to 24.66%. Our sixth graders increased from 22.78% to 31.99%. Our seventh graders increased from 26.04% to 27.24%. Our eighth graders increased from 25.28% to 31.29%. In math, fourth grade increased from 18.34% to 19.07%, and sixth grade increased from 14.31% to 23.72%. At Calexico High School, our math scores increased from 11.03% to 17.96%. And most notable is our Calexico High School English Language Arts surpassed the state average with an increase from 46.51% to 50.17%. I believe the state average is around 48%. We are proud of the hard work by all of our staff, students, and their families, and your work is making a positive impact. Again, we recognize that we have much more work ahead of us, but definitely we have good reason to feel proud of the work that is taking place. Let's continue this trajectory. I'm excited to see this progress continue and demonstrate the amazing talent, skills, and potential of our students, staff, and community. The next topic is this past weekend, this Saturday, we held our third annual Parent Summit, held on October 18, 2025, which was a great success. This year's theme centered around Calexico Unified School District's Community Schools Initiative, featuring a brief presentation by Ms. Alex Limon, Director of Community Schools, introducing parents to the vision, mission, and purpose of community schools. The event featured 20 community resource tables and 6 informational presentations attended by over 60 families. The Family Resource Center, community school staff, and Willie Moreno Junior High School team did an outstanding job organizing and executing the event. Parents shared positive feedback, noting that they appreciated the valuable information, access to local resources, and generous community donations. Presentations covered topics such as safety by the Imperial Valley Sheriff's Department, Crime Prevention Unit, social and emotional learning by Imperial County Behavioral Health Services, Know Your Rights and Responsibilities by our very own Calexico Unified School District Special Education Department, Nutrition and Healthy Eating by our Calexico Unified School District Nutrition Services Department, English Learner Development and Bilingual Development by our Calexico Unified School District English Learning Department, and Domestic Violence Awareness by the SURE Helpline. That was a great job for all of our families and our third annual Parent Summit. Yesterday, the Expanded Learning Department hosted the second annual Lights On After School event at Willie Moreno Junior High School. This year's theme was Festival de Luces, celebrated Hispanic heritage and highlighted our programs as a beacon of light and community. The event featured a variety of activity stations showcasing the engaging opportunities offered through our after-school programs. At the STEM station, students guided spheros through a custom maze and built light-up calaveras using simple circuits. The Arts and Crafts Station invited families to design and decorate paper lanterns to take home. A crowd favorite, the Pumpkin Patch, returned this year, allowing students to pick and paint their own pumpkins. Meanwhile, Spark staff distributed T-shirts from past camps at the Sparks booth, building program pride among students. Guests enjoyed a variety of free food options, including hot dogs, tacos, kettle corn, shaved ice, and drinks. Sparks participants received flyers at their school sites, which they exchanged for food vouchers during the event. The event drew a crowd of over 800 participants, reflecting strong community support and engagement. Just want to thank all of our staff, our district staff, our school staff, who have been involved in organizing these events for our community, the Parent Summit, the Lights On after school events. We also had a Saturday camp that hosted a flag football tournament, among other activities for our students on a Saturday. So a lot of good work. I want to thank all of our staff and our students and our community for being part of this. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. We'll do board reports. Mr. Arellano.
Thank you, Mr. Gutierrez. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to keep it short today. I want to wish everyone a happy Halloween and stay safe. For parents, just make sure you walk with your kids, and it tends to get busy, especially on the east side of town. So just make sure you walk with your kids and be safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Castillo.
Again, welcome for those of you that are here. Again, it's always welcome and good to see CSEA here and our teachers and our staff and employees at these board meetings for their engagement and activity. I also want to echo, I think, just pleased with the activities and what's happening at our school sites regarding the students and parent engagement. Again, it's been mentioned, the Parent Summit. I didn't get a chance to go this year, but I've gone in the past, and I did hear several positive feedback from one parent and also from community members that were there as a resource table, so I did hear that. Then, of course, last night as well, good to see the students and families engaged in the Lights Out, Lights On event at Willie's for Sparks. I did, as well, the pumpkin patch was nice to see. And, I liked that, enjoyed that because the children were engaged, involved, hands-on, and parents were there with them. So it was child and parents together in an, after-school event, community event for them. So I was pleased to see that. So again, thank you for everyone that put that together. I know it takes a lot of work. Behind the scenes, during the event, and after, and all the planning, so thank you for that. Again, as we're kind of coming to the end of October, as Mr. Arellano mentioned, just want to make sure and wish everyone a good end of October, but safe Halloween and activities, at our schools, but also in our communities. And then finally, I think we'll be back in November. We have a time change happening between now and then, so it will be getting darker. And of course, just wishing everybody safety as we move into the fall and winter seasons. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Avina.
Well, good evening, everybody. And I also attended the Festival de Luces, or Festival de Luces. Shout out to Esmeralda and your team. Great. It was a great outcome. A lot of parents. Food was delicious. And I always get super excited to see my ex-students. So yes, I saw one yesterday that I hadn't seen in 16 years. Last time I saw him, he was I think it was 8th grade. I was his teacher. So excited, makes me feel old because now here is an ex-student with his own wife and kids, and it was always exciting. So thank you. Sparks did a great job. Thank you, Mr. Jimenez, for sharing that information on academics. Very important that we continue growing. There's still a lot of work to be done, right? A lot of work to be done, but the important thing is that we're growing. We're growing in academics. I believe that's the business of our business. We're here to make sure that kids are learning, getting ready for college and career and move on. And again, this is a testament to everybody's hard work. The teachers, the principals, classified staff. It takes a village to make sure that a kid is learning. You know, making sure they come to school every day. They come to school that's positive, safe, clean. As we have all the purchasing all the materials that teachers need so that kids can learn. So it takes everybody. So thank you for sharing that information. I'd like to see growth. And that's about it. In the high school, that's pretty impressive. No, so we're above the state average. So that's great. That's fantastic. So thank you again to everybody that had a role in that, which is everybody. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. I had a call from a parent, Ms. Soto from Jefferson. She said I could mention her name. So, you know, she was very interested in a lot of the programs that her kids receiving there. One of the things that she mentioned was that her kid, through I believe the Me and Mine and a couple of other programs, has been able to reduce his levels of anxiety. You know, now she says even when he gets home, he's calm, right? And he has been receiving services at behavioral health, which have been reduced to, I think, once every 15 days now. And it seems that his grades and everything else went up. So I think a lot of times when we take a look at programs and services, sometimes the impact that we have may be in one child per school at any one time, right? But if you saw the Me and Mine, the different flow and different services that they referred to out, my reason for asking them about was it a constant assessment is because kids, you know, deal with stuff on a daily basis, and we need to make sure that they're being guided towards the right counselors or the right services, or even the teachers taking a look at what can they do in the immediate situations to be able to make sure that they stay and focus on the learning part of it. On the second part, I know and I have a full understanding that, you know, a lot of the cost of things have gone up, right? But I think one of the things that we're constantly taking a look at is not just necessarily the stuff that goes up, but also that we have been receiving less money. And as we are impacted by low enrollment or decline enrollment, you know, it means the following year we get impacted by receiving less funds for our programs and our services within the school district. And it's also, you know, the federal elimination of programs or termination of programs and some reductions, you know, all those affect the way that we receive funds. I know that we're looking at a lot of preparations for things, but at the same time, you know, we have to make sure that we're able to provide for our employees and, you know, that we stay ahead of the game, you know, before we're not able to. With that in mind, I wanted to make a request to Mr. Jimenez to take a look at a couple of things. One is our last 3 years report, if you could please provide to the board on a presentation. The enrollment for the last 3 years, review of current decline on enrollment with demographics that reflect the impact on each elementary school and through the whole district, and the impact on our finances based on that enrollment. What does it mean when we lose a body, when we lose enrollment? That's one request. And the second request is if we could do a facilities review to take a look at some of the needs that we're having at some of the schools throughout the school district. You know, kind of let us know what the repairs are, what the situation is on each one of those schools as we're looking forward to it. And, you know, what's the cost of repair in order for the schools to stay safe? And that is my report.
We'll follow up with your request, President Contreras.
Thank you. We'll move to item F, action items. Consideration and action approval of the following items. Number 1, first reading of revised board policy and administration regulation 1230, school connected organizations.
We could take 1 through 10 together.
I'm gonna take 2 to 10.
Okay.
We'll vote on this one. Yeah, because this one is the first reading and the other one's our second reading. So I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion for approval. Questions, concerns? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. We will take item number 2 through 10 together. And those are all second readings. If you could,
Yes, and at this point, I'd like to ask Mr. Guerrero to approach the podium and summarize those board policies and ARs by number and by title.
Good evening, Superintendent Jimenez, President Contreras, trustees, members of the public. My name is Romel Guerrero. I am your Human Resource Assistant Superintendent. This is our routine update of board policies based on the most recent legislation. We retrieve this information from our Gamut online platform, which is compiled by the California School Board Association. Tonight, we're presenting the second reading for board policies, administrative regulations, and/or exhibits. Item 2, AR, Administrative Regulation 3542, School Bus Drivers. Item 3, Administrative Regulation 3515.4, Recovery of Property Loss or Damage. Item 4, Administrative Regulation 5148.2, Before and After School Programs. Item 5, Administrative Regulation 6141.2, Recognition of Religious Beliefs and Customs. Item 6, Administrative Regulation 6145.2, Athletic Competition. Item 7, Administrative Regulation 5113.2, Work Permits. Item 8, Board Policy 0410, Non-Discrimination in District Programs and Activities. Item 9, Administrative Regulation 6142.8, Comprehensive Health Education. And item 10, Administrative Regulation 6142.1, Sexual Health and HIV/AIDS Prevention Instruction. We recommend that the board approve action items 2 through 10 as the second reading of this revised board policies, administrative regulations, and/or exhibits.
And if I may, really quick, Mr. Contreras, President Contreras, just for the records, items 3 to 4 were administrative regulations and board policies as well.
Thank you.
thank you.
And the comment is, as we look at these and consider approval, again, following recommendations from CSBA Gamut, correct? And a lot of these changes and updates are as a result of legal or court decisions that we need to be compliant with.
Absolutely. We take these right out of Gamut from CSBA, and these are solely based on most recent legislation, new assembly bills, Senate bills that are passed, new case law that now impacts our board policies and administrative regulations. So all this is based solely on the most recent board policies, administrative regulations from Gamut, from the California School Boards Association.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Mr. Guerrero. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
A motion to approve.
I have a motion by Mr. Avina.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Arellano. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Item number 11, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Avid Center for Summer Institute for all elementary and secondary schools for June 2026.
So again, we continue to be an Avid district, have its school site, part of our plans. And I think it's October now, and as we pursue this as a goal in our plan, it's good to see that we're being proactive and looking ahead at next summer.
Yes, correct. Thank you. I'll make a motion for approval.
Second that.
Have a motion and a second. Questions or concerns? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Item number 12, memorandum of understanding between Calexico Unified School District and Rotary Club of Rancho Bernardo, Rotary Club Puro Andino, and Learning Upgrade to provide learning upgrade software license for the language labs at Enrique Camarena and Willie Moreno Junior High Schools. And I believe this is a donation.
Yes, this is it's a free program that we started using it actually last year, and we've only piloted, if you will, but we started using it in the after-school program, and we've got good results from it. It's a good opportunity. Students are able to use it either at school or at home. They are able to use it at whatever time they like, any place they have an internet connection, they could use it. And so it is a donation, it is a partnership. It is through the San Diego Rotary Club, but in partnership with the El Centro Rotary Club. And so we were connected to this program through our local Rotary clubs. And this is for our after-school language labs that we're creating at Enrique Camarena and Will Moreno Junior High Schools. So it is intended to use after school as a language supplemental program for language support.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Arellano,
I second the motion.
second by Mr. Avina. Any other questions, concerns? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Item number 13, Memorandum of Understanding between ICOE Curriculum and Instructional Professionals Learning and Leadership Support Department, Calexico Unified School District regarding the Count, Play, Explore, CPE, educator participant for the 2025-2026 school year.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that motion. Any questions or concerns? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Item number 14, approval of physical education exceptions, permanent request waivers for 11th grade students at Calexico High School. And this is I believe this will be the first
That's correct. These are the students who have submitted for their waiver. They have to meet the criteria after 10th grade, 16 years old, and they could submit a waiver to waive their PE classes, and this enables them to take other elective classes. Some of our students take the Navy and JROTC, other CTE programs, or band, or other programs that otherwise they would not be able to fit in their schedule. So this enables them to be able to do so.
This is the first set here. Are we expecting additional down the road?
So last year we did it twice.
Twice,
so
There
because
could
there's some
potentially be
kids
additional ones.
that were late at turning those in.
Right.
We had very few of those last year, but we did it twice. So there may be a second one.
Thank you.
I'll entertain the motion.
A motion to approve.
I have a motion by Mr. Avina,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Arellano. Any other questions or concerns? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Item number 15. Rejection of claim, Nationwide Insurance Company of America on behalf of Connie Arellano versus Calexico Unified School District. Now I'll make a motion for approval.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Questions, concerns? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Item number 16, quarterly report on Williams Unified Complaint ending September 30th, 2025. Any questions on this item from you? I'll make a motion for approval.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Questions, concerns? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Item number 17, resolution approving amendment number 1 of the facilities lease for the Measure Q building addition, phase 1, earthwork and site utilities project. Mr. Jimenez, if you could please.
Thank you, President Contreras. At this point, I'd like to ask our Assistant Superintendent of Business Services, Mr. Luis de la Torre, to the podium. He's going to introduce 2 of our construction partners in our Measure Q project that are going to provide some updates on our Measure Q Calexico High School construction project. Mr. de la Torre.
Thank you. Good evening, President Contreras, trustees, Superintendent Jimenez, colleagues, and guests tonight. Tonight, we're really excited about bringing to you this resolution for your consideration. This is the next phase for the Measure Q project for the Calexico High School, as you well know. Phase 1, also known as Increment 1, so we may be using those terms interchangeably. As read, it consists of the earthwork and the utilities infrastructure, and this is in preparation for getting us to Phase 2, Phase 2 being the construction phase. So there's been a lot of work that's been done, and things are coming to fruition. We're really, really looking forward to this project. It's going to take a couple years to get it done, but we're really, really looking forward to this project. Now, I know that I don't do justice to saying this is earthwork and site utility improvements. To get us to this point, there's been a lot of work by a lot of people. Fortunately, I'm excited to introduce to you Mr. Jimmy Sanders from Sanders Inc., Mr. Mark Scholl from Balfour Beatty Construction. They're going to give you an explanation as to how we got here and what are our next steps. So I present to you Mr. Jimmy Sanders.
Superintendent Jimenez, good evening. Board President and trustees, thank you for the opportunity to give you an update tonight and present the current status of the Measure Q project. So we want to give a brief explanation of the bids that were received and the process that we went through in order to be ready to be at the board meeting tonight to recommend approval for this Phase 1 or Increment 1. As Mr. De La Torre mentioned, we use those interchangeably. It's Phase 1 to us, but to DSA, it's Increment 1. We have DSA approval on Increment 1, which allows us to get started with this work. So Balfour Beatty, about 2 months ago, started the bidding process to solicit bids for the scope of work that we're proposing to start on. They went through several iterations of doing value engineering, making sure that all the documents were ready to bid. They held a pre-bid conference where contractors were here on site, and they were able to get very good coverage, and we use that word coverage for each one of the bid packages. So there was a total of 4 bid packages that give you the sum total of the construction work. And in each one of those bid packages, they had up to 5 contractors bid that work. So when we say they had really good coverage, meaning that there was a lot of participation from the contractors, which means that today you're getting the best price available. So after they received those bids, then they went through the whole process to make sure that everything was covered and that they could make a recommendation, and that we as a team could make a recommendation that this is not only the best value, but the best way forward to get started on the Measure Q project. So I want to point out an important detail in the guaranteed maximum price tonight that the board needs to understand, and that is that the GMP, or the guaranteed maximum price as we refer to it, it includes alternate add 1 and alternate add 2. Okay? Alternate add 1 is to install the import earthwork, or the decomposed granite that needs to be put in. It's about 5 feet. We have to dig down about 5 feet, take out the native soil, and then bring this import soil back in. And that is that's alternate add 1 for the cost of $848,000. And then there's also alternate add 2. Now, alternate add 2 is a part of the DSA approved plans, but we hope that we don't have to do that scope of work. So alternate add 2 is specifically for what we call a geogrid or a geomat, and it goes at the bottom of the 5 feet excavation. And in the event that we have pumping, or that the soil is very moist and we can't stabilize it to build that pad, the solution is to do a geogrid. And that geogrid is for a cost of $312,000. So many times you you get to that point, and then you have to go back to DSA, get the soils engineer involved, and it's a lengthy process to get all that involved. And so we've done all that work up front with the idea that if we need it, we already have it approved. It's already included in your GMP. We hope that we're going to be able to not do that work, but we won't know until we get down to that elevation. Okay. And so with that, just a brief update on the schedule. If all is approved tonight, Balfour Beatty will mobilize with all their subcontractors. They'll get started in November. This portion of the work is scheduled to take about 3 months. Increment 2 is at DSA and currently being reviewed. We're supposed to receive all those comments back from DSA the 3rd week in November, okay? Which then gives us about 2 months to respond to all those comments and get approval on increment 2 and keep right on moving. So, okay. Any questions?
Questions, concerns? Thank you.
Thank you.
This being a resolution, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Make a motion to approve this resolution.
Have a motion by Mr. Castillo.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Arellano. Mr. Arellano?
Yes.
Mr. Castillo?
Yes.
Mr. Aviña?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes. Resolution passes 4-0. Item number 18, resolution regarding fiscal solvency and repayment of non-voter approval debt. We could just get a brief explanation on this.
Absolutely, President Contreras. So this resolution pertains to the COP that we have previously discussed in a board meeting in relationship to the completion of Measure Q project at Calexico High School. So we've always known that the initial dollar amount of Measure Q was not going to be enough to complete the entirety of the project. We always knew that we were going to have to seek additional monies in order to be able to complete that project. At a previous board meeting, the board directed staff to look at ways in which we're able to complete the full project without cutting back on scope, which means without cutting back on saying, okay, let's take out a building, let's not build one of the buildings or two of the buildings. The board has a very strong desire to make sure that this project is completed in its totality. So in order for us to do that, we needed to go out and find financing that's above and beyond what the bond was originally, which was $47 million. And so we've been working very diligently with Mr. De La Torre, our business services department, with our partners, and seeking additional financing, which we're looking at a COP to bring to the board for the board's approval. And this resolution here tonight, and if you read the resolution, it's an acknowledgement on behalf of the district. It's a recognition on behalf of the district saying, we're acknowledging that we're taking out financing to complete Measure Q, and we're acknowledging that that is a big responsibility that will be on our shoulders, that we will need to repay that financing. And so therefore, we will be very actively looking at ways to make adjustments in our revenues and expenditures so that we could meet our obligation on that liability, right? We could meet our obligation on that financing of that additional money. So it's a resolution that acknowledges on behalf of the board to the community, that acknowledges that we will be looking, for example, I'll give you a clear example. Suppose we continue declining enrollments. Well, we know that, fewer students is fewer revenues, as was previously mentioned here tonight, fewer monies from the state, and so we would have to adjust accordingly. What would we have to do to adjust for fewer students, for fewer money, and then take action accordingly, to account for receiving less money because of declining enrollment. So a variety of different ways within the resolution of addressing, how would we, or acknowledging that that we know that we're cognizant of that, and that we're actively working on adjusting our budgets so that we could meet our financial obligations. One of the things it mentions, for example, is our anticipated expected state reimbursements that we're applying for. We're qualify for about $22 million in state reimbursements. We're acknowledging that money, that we're getting in line, we're completing our applications, we're submitting our applications, so that at the time of the point of completion, we're able to submit in order to get those state reimbursements back from the state reimbursement program. So it addresses it's a public acknowledgement that we know that this comes with a big responsibility, and that we take that responsibility very serious, and that we're going to be actively addressing so that we are able to meet that obligation.
Thank you. And I guess in addition to that is that a lot of the funds that we're tapping to repay for this specific funds is money that can only be used for the construction of buildings and things like that, right? It's not necessarily money that is directed towards staff or other services that we receive different money that is earmarked for that specific area. So we have a resolution before us. I'll make a motion for approval.
I'll second with comments.
Go ahead.
So again, and thank you for sharing and adding it to the agenda. So again, understanding this is an acknowledgement, a public declaration of our intent to be fiscally responsible and hopefully fiscally solvent in the next couple of years with these projects. Embedded in here, I know as well, is kind of what Mr. Contreras mentioned earlier, looking at our funding, all funding sources, including our enrollment, positive, negative. You mentioned facility needs assessment as well, looking at all components regarding facilities and school construction to help make these projects a reality, right? But ultimately a declaration of what this board is committing to, and the district as well. I'm wondering, the resolution, is it required for anything, or is it just our own declaration?
No, it's actually not legally required. This is something that we want to do. We want to be transparent. We want to be open about this. This actually came as a recommendation made by our County Office of Education in a meeting regarding financing for Measure Q, where they recommended a solvency statement, a resolution like this, and so we agreed with the recommendation. We appreciate the county's recommendation and guidance with this. It's not a legal requirement, but it's something that we're doing because we want to be transparent about this. I do want to make one very, I think, very important note right here, that this is above and beyond Measure Q. I don't want any concerns or questions that something happened with Measure Q. The Measure Q bond is 100% intact. The money that was passed and approved by our voters in Calexico, in the city of Calexico, for Calexico Unified School District, the Measure Q bond money is every last penny is there and it's accounted for. And through district working and leveraging other funds, we have above and beyond the original $47 million on Measure Q. So I just want to make the statements so that anyone from the public listening tonight knows that this is not because there's not something happened with Measure Q money. This is only because we need more money beyond those $47 million. But those $47 million are 100% accounted for, and they've only been, what's been used already has only been used for the Measure Q project at Calexico High School, and the money that we have remaining and plus money that we've added to it is only being used for Calexico High School the Measure Q plan, as the board had at one point approved a resolution for the buildings, the athletic facility, the students' cafeteria, the multipurpose room, the administrative buildings, the STEM labs, the classroom buildings. So everything, all that is 100% intact.
And I want to add, I think, again, one of the main responsibilities of a school board member is to ensure the fiscal solvency and responsibility of the school district. You know, we're told that multiple times. It's one of the few responsibilities, main ones. But I think with that said, again, we want to make sure we do that, establish that as a resolution, declaration, set the district in the right path, and knowing that, you know, it's a part of the path is our commitment long term. Some of us may not be here, you know, in the years to come, but we want to make sure the district is working in the right direction, you know, with the right, what?
Leave it better than you found it.
Yeah, with the right
Financially,
foundation,
yeah.
right? You know, we want it to be better after we leave. And that's, I think, what we all want for this community and school district community to be moving in the right direction. As well, I know in our discussions and in previous maybe meetings, there's also the desire, you know, with the facilities to also look at that facility stabilization plan. I think we talked about briefly in the past. So I think that is still an interest of myself and probably the board, that we look at and continue maybe developing that after the resolution. Again, looking at all things we've talked about, enrollment, revenues, expenditures, facilities, costs, interest rate, all that into a plan. I think you shared, or someone shared, school services has that, or FICMAT also can help support that as well. I don't think we need that FICMAT yet, and I think that's something we can do ourselves as a team. But that's, I think one thing we'd like to continue pursuing, and then reviewing frequently those updates as you've shared. You know, you've been very transparent with us, and I think on this item, and moving forward, keeping the board, you know, informed, our community informed. But again, I think the desire is to continue with that fiscal plan for the district.
And if I could add to that, one of the requirements under Prop 2 to apply for school facility funds is that we have a master facilities plan. It didn't used to be a requirement. Now it became a requirement. So we went out for a request for proposal. We did receive 3 proposals. We are right now currently in the review phase of reviewing those proposals, and if not for the December board, for the November board meeting, but for the December board meeting, we do plan on bringing with one of those firms, you know, for approval for our facility master plan. The timeline, it's about 2 months. It's approximately for whoever does get the contract to come in, do an analysis on our facilities and create the master plan. And that's also going to be provide a lot of information that President Contreras a little while ago was asking for. For example, what are the facility needs of our schools? Do they need new plumbing, new electrical, new roofs, new windows? What's the cost per school? You know, so we could, you know, be looking at that, you know, right now and into the future. So that's in the works as well. And we have to, we're required to do that by law, so.
So yeah, we want to be diligent with this work fiscally and facilities, and help the district, likewise the district, like you're saying, help us make these right decisions. And that's it.
And then the other thing that it does is doesn't put this on the voters to fund the additional money that is needed. So being responsible with the current Measure Q funds were. You know, and then taking on the responsibility. If you saw on the previous item, you know, they showed us 2 different costs on things if needed, right? So it's kind of like looking and seeing where we could continue to reduce certain of those things. Any other questions, concerns? This being a resolution, Mr. Arellano?
Yes.
Mr. Castillo?
Yes.
Mr. Avina?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes. Resolution passes 4-0. Item number 19, resolution authorizing contract pursuant to Public Contract Code Section 20118 for the procurement of food services equipment to be delivered to the installed at Jefferson Elementary School. I'll make a motion for approval.
I'll second the resolution.
Questions, concerns? There's been a resolution again, Mr. Arellano,
Yes.
Mr. Castillo,
Yes.
Mr. Avina,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes. Motion, resolution passes 4-0. Resolution number 20, resolution regarding disposition of surplus assets, non-assets, technical equipment at Willie Moreno High School.
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion by Mr. Arellano. I'll second that motion. Questions, concerns? Mr. Arellano?
Yes.
Mr. Castillo?
Yes.
Mr. Avina?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes. Resolution passes 4-0. Item number 21, resolution designating the person to sign related documentations for the 2026-2027 Child Development Continued Funding application for the state preschool and Kennedy Garden Elementary School. And I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Have a,
Resolution.
have a motion by Mr. Castillo
A second?
and a second by Mr. Avina. Mr. Arellano?
Yes.
Mr. Castillo?
Yes.
Mr. Avina?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes. Resolution passes 4-0. And we will move on to H, announcement to convene into closed session. Thank you.